Hello, my name is Omar Abasad. It is 1:56 p.m., August 30th, 2020. So I'm going to give you a sample of the signals coming into my body. See the hand? And you're looking at this number here. So I've been pulsed all night and all day continuously. The eyes. And the battery is low. The eyes are being hit. Notice the RF reading on the eyes is notice the RF reading is fluctuating, especially on the eyes as well. So my eyes are being pulsed. So I'm going to show you with this meter. The eyes. I don't have magnets on my chest. No. Okay. So my screen just went blank on me there. So the left side of my body. I was just gonna go to swim, so I have a workout top on me, so you could see the signals on the skin itself. So this is the electrical currents of the skin, not on the cloth, but on the skin. Keeping in mind that your skin is conductive. So you saw the signals. I'll check out the temperature, 36.6. It's the left side of my body, 37.4. So the right side is hotter than the left. 36.6. 37.1. Skin on my chest, 36.2. My ear, and I just got scanned, 36.7. Other ear, 36.7. Forehead, 36.6. Skin. So was it 36.2 before? 36.3. I just got scanned on the chest. Went up to 36.4 from 36.2. 36.1. 36.1. 36.6. From 37.4. So that's 0.7 difference, 36.6. 0.8 difference, 36.6. Just like the other side, 36.5. 36.5. So that's 36.5. So that's 0.9 degrees difference in 5 minutes, about 5 minutes. So I'm going to take my blood pressure readings. And since I am getting scanned continuously, it should be fluctuations. So I'm going to show you how my stuff is vandalized. So this is an expensive $150 Canadian blood pressure monitor. And this is where the battery is replaced right here. So you notice it's not clicking in place. So I have to get some contact glue and fix that. And the reason it's not clicking in place is because I came home one day after using it before I went out, and it was perfectly fine. And notice that this is the first time around. The edges here were cut on both prongs. That fits on this snugly, like so, and it clicks in place, like so. But the prongs, even though it clicked, it's not holding in place. So this happens. So that was a little while ago. I noticed that cut. So then today, I picked it up to use it and notice that crack. See that crack there? Now, I'm very careful as the prongs weren't fitting properly after it was cut. I'm very careful to squeeze this lever here to take it out, to replace the battery. So I don't put pressure on here, but it's broken. See that? So I'm going to try some contact cement, contact glue, to get that fixed. And use some Scotch tape to hold it down so I get an accurate, I know I'm getting an accurate reading. It shouldn't affect the reading itself because since the signals are pulsing through, it means that there is contact to the sensor, but it could break. But just in case there are any doubts, I will repair that. But you can see that cut on the prongs, that is not a break. It was an even cut. So my place is being entered. I have no doubt that my place is being entered because my coat is being cut up looking for drugs, because there's a report that says there might be drugs in my place because I am a target and they're looking to get me out of the building because, well, the value of real estate is going up. That'd be one way to cheat me out of my investment. So one way to do that is to try to set me up and frame me for doing something illegal. So they're coming into my home. The cops are coming into my home and searching it for drugs. The building superintendent openly talks about it to everybody he meets outside the window. That's how I know. And because my coat was cut up and the baseboard in my bedroom was pried open. So whether that was done by the cops, I'm suspecting it's the cops because the worker keeps calling the cops and other people are calling the cops. So maybe the cops came in and did that search, and there was never any notes. Never any notes. Also, when government contractors or police contractors who has the monitoring contract, because I'm flagged, come in here and they want to close their account, they come in here and they check the unit before they close their account. I heard my brother sent his son here. I heard people from the workplaces who have contracts on me or subcontracted send people from the workplace in here. I hear different names of people who came in here from the workplace. So my place is being entered without disclosure and without any note being left. So drugs could be placed in my food. My place is vandalized. Plumbing could be broken to cause flooding. It was vandalized before. My furniture has been cut up looking for drugs. The police, I heard. I've had sticky tar poured on my furniture. I've had wires cut in my electric stove. I've had 3 TVs broken. I've had 3 computers broken. I came up one day and there was water on the keyboard and on the computer. It was soaked. And on and on and on and on and on. It was just lists of things that was vandalized in my unit. They're pretty much trying to get me to leave because the city is going to be a smart city. This is where it's headed. 5G is out. The antennas are being put up to enable, driverless cars and so on to operate. And within 10 years, that's going to be done. So the city is going to become a smart city. And most people are there. What the agenda is to make people stay in the city. So they could be easily controlled, of course, and everything about them could be controlled. That's pretty much it. But on the flip side of that, the cities are going to be very expensive. It'll be a very expensive place to live. So so driving me out of my property and lynching me would be one way to cheat me. So this is what the agenda is. So a slave do not own property. Another way they're trying to do it, and it's been talked about openly in public, is my brother, who was mentally incapacitated and under the influence of other people, I heard openly talked about, signed documents and fraudulently tried to put it in a trust to take it away from me. So there's never been any disclosure about any of this. But since it's a community targeting program, and the way I know that is because it follows you everywhere you go, the community is involved. Nothing's been disclosed, but it's openly been talked about. So it is a community targeting program that is allowing these frauds, if they were committed, to be committed, and for the people who are committing them to get away with it, because it's all fixed. Everything about a target violations, and you're supposed to violate a target, cheat the target. So everything about those violations are covered and fixed. So this is the way, if the brother did this, and I have no way of knowing that this is the truth, I only hear about it outside the window and in public. If this was done, it was fraud, just blatant, out and out fraud. If the court allowed it, then the court, knowing that I'm a target, because the court personnel would have been told that I'm a target, and they allowed it, then it was because I was a target, and they allowed the fraud to go through. So the whole thing is fraud. I was never incapacitated in any way, shape, or form. There is harassment, stress associated with the harassment. There is experimentation, which I talk about in my videos. And if you can talk about an experiment and talk about what the outcome should be and what they expect and what doesn't happen, then obviously the experiment is not working. There's no long-term. Well, okay, so let me not say that. Let me just leave that. When I say the experiments are not working, what I mean is if the experiment is to turn you into a prostitute or a sex slave, then that is not working. So 126/78, so a little bit high. So there are fluctuations, keep in mind. So right now, the blood pressure is just a little bit high. So I'm going to take it one more time. So I was pulsed last night and I shielded. I am building a Faraday cage of just like a microwave oven that has metal around the emitter that emits the signals. I'm going to make a barricade around my bed, all sides, top, bottom, and the sides, and try to get shielding that way. But right now, I just cover myself with metal sheets, baking sheets, basically. So it dropped. So it's fluctuating from 126 to 111. So what was before? 126/78, then it dropped to 111/74, which reflects the fluctuating signals. So when the signals increase and it increases the pain level, the blood pressure goes up. When the signals drop in strength and the pain level drops, then instantly you see a difference in the numbers. Also, the blood flow in your vessels, the blood vessels of your entire body, not only in the spot that is being hit, but in your entire body is affected. So if the blood flow if the vessels are compressed, then the pressure increases. If the blood is thick, then the pressure increases, because the heart will have to push harder to get the thickened blood through the vessels. So 115/74. I'm going to take it one more time. And this morning I got up with a headache, and there was a very high electrical reading around my head and on my pillow. So the power of the signals were turned up last night. And also in the morning, there were a couple of people, I think there are two different people, sets of people who tried to log on. There was somebody who was logged on all night. As soon as I went to bed, the breast and between the legs was hit. So somebody was on me all night last night. The reason I know is my body is not 100% shielded. There are spots that is exposed in my body, and those spots are affected. So I could actually feel the signals on my body. It's much like a pressure. You actually feel the pressure, and you could feel the tingling sensation because it's electromagnetic signals. So there is an electrical component, and there is an RF component. So the electrical component is actually pressure. It's actually pressure on the skin. And the microwave signals affect the nervous system. So your nerve cells actually starts tingling. So this happens in your brain cells as well, because when the RF reading is high, it penetrates your body and into your brain. So it affects your mental state of mind. So let me recap. So starting at 10, 126 over 78, 111 over 74, 115 over 74, and 109 over 72. The heart rate is 77, 79, 76, 78, 78. So the heart rate is stable. So I just got an electrical jolt, a mini one, much like if you put your finger in a socket and you just get a slight buzz, much like that. And that's in addition to these signals. So these mini jolts, these mini, like right here, just like I just got just now, these electrical pulses that goes into your body, it causes muscle spasms. And if it's strong, it'll penetrate your body and you get cramps. And a lot of people know what the cramp feels like. Well, it's quite painful. And those are done at night. So to keep you quiet, because these people want to rape you, which means that they want you to stay quiet so they can focus the beam between your legs and the spots that they want stimulated. So every time you move, they will hit you. And if you move a lot and they want to make it really painful, they will turn up the RF signals and cause a cramp, like an extremely painful cramp, because the RF signals block the blood immediately. It collapses the vein, is what I'm suspecting, in that spot, causing the cramp. So speaking of COVID-19, let me jump to another topic. Well, I wasn't speaking about it, but let me start talking about it. There was a tweet that came into my account, somebody I followed, that indicated that the CDC revised the numbers of COVID-19 deaths. There was 153,000 plus reported as COVID deaths initially. So they went back and they checked to find out how many deaths were just purely COVID-19 caused as a result of being infected by COVID-19, just purely. No other underlying diseases, no comorbidities, as they call it. So when they did that recount, it came out to be about, I think the number was less, the number is definitely less than 10,000. So let's take a couple thousand from the number that they quoted. Let's just say 10,000. So out of 153,000, let's say 10,000, they gave them a lower figure, but I'm going to use, let's just say 10,000. So this shows just how much manipulation is going on, how much we are being manipulated, how much we are being scared of our minds to comply with all these policies being put into place to take away our rights. We are being scared and petrified, just like in 9/11. We are being petrified. It's like terrorists everywhere. Really, that was not the case in my opinion. It made everybody a terrorist, in effect. It made us be scared of each other. And this is exactly what COVID-19 is doing. We are being made to feel scared of each other. You're infected, you're diseased. Oh my God, I'm going to catch this from you. Stay away, stay 6 feet away, 10 feet away. Cover your mouth, cover your nose. Don't socialize, don't visit. Same idea. Divide, separate people, make us scared of each other as human beings. So we are being manipulated. There is absolutely no doubt we are being manipulated. So we see in the States, the Black Lives Matters protests. I'm all for rights, for justice for what is being done in the name. Let me rephrase that. I'm all for justice for Black people, white people. It doesn't really matter. So Black people are claiming to be violated on the basis of race, and yes, that's an issue. But let's face it, this is not a reason to defund the police. If there are issues that needs to be looked at and corrected, then correct the issues. We need the police. And the police, like every other organization, has its faults and its weaknesses, and it's infiltrated, and they will violate and they will abuse. Not only Black people have been violated and abused by the police. That doesn't mean I'll go around defunding the police or doing the stuff that these protesters are doing, which is really violence, destroying people's property, killing people in the name of justice. It doesn't make sense. So this is, how does it relate to COVID-19? Well, it's all fear-based. This is all pushing fear. Fear. So if you defund the police, then the mob is going to come after you. And who's going to protect you against the mob? So, to me, the two are related, because if you defund the police and the mob comes after you, you have no rights. Under COVID-19, your rights are being taken away. Again, you have no rights. So really, what is it all about? It's about taking away our rights, taking away the structure that is in place right now, and completely undermining it, bringing it down, and putting another social structure in place, which is communism, social democracy. Well, social democracy doesn't work. Communism doesn't work. In my opinion, I live in a social democratic country. In a social democracy, I should say. I live in it. In my opinion, it doesn't work. Does not work. Definitely communism, nobody wants communism either. But Black Lives Matters, these organizations that is part of that, that's calling for defunding the police and all that, these people are infiltrated by communistic forces. So, and who's driving COVID-19? To take away your rights? Where did the virus come from? A communist country? A relationship? I think so. So, yeah, don't vote for parties that want to bring in communism. Would be my advice. So in Canada, there might be an election. It's, in my opinion, it's time to change the government. No communism. What is happening in this building here is a reflection of mob mentality. Communism. So I'm going to take the pressure one more time. So Black Lives Matters, the protesters, it doesn't seem like they're after justice. They're after gaining power over other people. It has nothing to do with justice. I mean, why would you topple a statue of a prime minister? This is whether you agreed with what went on or not. It's part of our history. Why take it down? And let's face it, every race in the world have slaves. Every culture has slaves. Indians in India have slaves. It's called a caste system. The Africans have slaves, multiple wives, and practice all sorts of violent customs like cutting for girls. Muslims, of course, have slaves. The white people enslaved the blacks. Let's face it, every ethnic group, if they're allowed, will enslave, not only their own, will enslave other people. So, enslavement is part of our history. Why take down the statue? Suddenly, the black people don't only want, well, some of them, the infiltrated ones, and they don't only want justice, they want power. Power to tell other people what to do. Power to enslave other people while they're talking about being enslaved themselves as a violation. Doesn't make sense. Anyway, so 115 over 76. So I'm going to try to fix this. And even though it's broken, it's still sending out the signals. So it's still working. But it wouldn't be working very much longer if I don't fix it. Talk to you another time.